What if the thing frustrating you right now isn't actually the problem? What if, on some level, part of you is working hard to keep you exactly where you are? That's an uncomfortable thought. But if you've been spinning your wheels, wanting more and still not moving forward, it's worth asking, why do I feel stuck? Let me ask you something uncomfortable. What if part of you benefits from staying stuck? I know most people don't like that question because if you're watching this, there's probably something in your life that you truly want to change. Your finances, your relationship, your confidence, your career, or maybe you're just tired of knowing that you're capable of more and still not moving forward. So you ask, why do I feel stuck? But what if that's the wrong question? Because if there were no downside to changing, wouldn't you move? Maybe slowly, maybe imperfectly, but wouldn't you move? So, what if part of you is getting something from staying exactly where you are? Let's look at that. What if staying stuck prevents you from failure? Think about it. If you never start, you never find out. If you never try, you never risk being wrong. If you stay where you are, the dream is always untouched, still possible, still safe, and still waiting for someday. But the moment you begin, everything changes. Now the dream gets tested. Now it gets real. You might succeed, or you might struggle. You might make mistakes. You might discover you're a beginner. Maybe that's what you're avoiding. Not the work, not the goal, the truth, the possibility of finding out. But let's go deeper. What if staying stuck protects you from responsibility? It's easy to imagine a different life, but creating one is harder. A better life asks more of you, more decisions, more accountability, more consistency, more growth. And growth sounds exciting until it asks you to change. Not your circumstances, you. That's the uncomfortable part. Now, let's go deeper still. What if staying stuck protects an identity? Maybe you've been telling yourself the same story for years. Maybe you're the person that never finishes, the person that always struggles, the person that keeps starting over, the person that never gets a break, the person who isn't confident, the person who isn't good enough. And whether we realize it or not, we get attached to those stories. Not because we enjoy them, because they're familiar. We know who we are inside them. So if we let them go, who do we become? Most people never ask that question because changing your life means changing the story you've been telling yourself about your life. And that's hard. So maybe the question isn't, why do I feel stuck? Maybe the real question is, what is staying stuck protecting me from? What responsibility would come with success? What expectations would change? What excuses would disappear? What relationships would shift? What truths would I have to face? And maybe the biggest question of all, what would I have to stop blaming? Because sometimes the moment we move forward, we lose our favorite excuse. And that's uncomfortable. Not because we're lazy, not because we're broken, but because excuses protect us. They protect us from uncertainty, from risk, from change. The problem with these excuses is that they also keep us exactly where we are. So here's what I'd like you to do. The next time you catch yourself saying, I feel stuck, pause, and then ask yourself, what might I be getting from staying right here? Don't judge the answer. Get curious, because curiosity creates awareness. Awareness creates choice, and choice creates movement. Then act on what you discover, not when you feel ready. Today, the beliefs that shaped your past don't have to define your future. The story keeping you stuck only has power if you keep believing in it. Question it, challenge it, and take one step anyway. Because the life that you want is on the other side of that story, if you're willing to leave it behind. So tell me, what's one excuse that you could question today? I'd love to hear about it. Until next time, stay curious.